Good morning, traders. It's time to get back into the hot seat. I do got some swing trades on, ready to get into this market. Got my new orange juice. No more simply. I'm going with the Maker's Mark. I don't know. Maker's Mark, who knows? It's the Sam's brand, whatever that may be. We'll see. It's not too bad. But I'll tell you what. My Tesla trade's a lot better than this orange juice. Let's get to the action. Live trading with Benzinga.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
Good morning, traders. Let's get to the action. There's a lot going on. Of course, we'll get right to the stocks. You guys in the chat, I want you guys to throw up your number one stock to watch this week. What is it? I know we all like to do Sunday watch lists, things like this. So I want to hear what you guys are looking at, right? It's not always exactly what I'm looking at. Let's hear if you guys got any gold up your sleeve, right? Let's get to the action. Let's take a look at the market. I'm by myself. And we'll let you guys know that one more time. By myself. Just going to try to keep battling in here. I know that by myself, the show does take a little bit of a step back as I focus on my trading, focus on the action that's going on, focus on the action that's going on in the chat. But I'll do my best today. Like always, we'll get to some tunes. We'll play some music. We'll hang out. This is what this stream's all about. It's kind of an informal way to get into a trading room that truly supports each other. Really, that's what I do this room for. It's not for you guys to learn my secret sauce that will get you to $10 million. No, that's not what it's about. At the end of the day, what I'm here for is to show you guys a process approach of how traders come into the market. And like always, we want to be attacking the market with some systematic approach and trying to get into the green, right? We'll see what else is out there. Look at the crow. New picture? Crow. What's going on out there? All right, we'll get into the action here. If you guys got those stocks, I see a lot of those thrown up, so we'll get through those stocks. Let me first get into the action that I see out there right now. Of course, you guys see Caterpillar. Let's get to the SPY action today. Definitely watch to see if we get above the 410. In the morning, we went to 409.55s, right? 410 on the upside. For you bulls, if you guys want to see another run back up, look for that 410 on the green side, right? So what we're going to do is actually put a green mark there for us today. So I'm putting that mark right there. You guys can see that line drawn right there at 410. And then what's our downside level? That's important to watch. I'm going to say that's all the way down towards 405, because if you look at the hourly and you scroll back, what was our low on Friday? Right to that 405. So that's going to be the level that we're going to be watching, that 405.01, whatever you want to do it as 405. Doesn't really matter if it's at 405.01 or 405. I'm going to put a line there. And now we want to see if we can break through these ranges, right? 405 or 410 on the upside. This can give us more of an approach where we're going into confirmation. So I think this is definitely important to kind of catch. We'll see if we can get back above the 410 or below the 405. Google, definitely important stock to watch, right? It's had a nice pullback now. Now it's back down towards 94. Are we going to continue to cut down through 94, or are we going to bounce back towards 100? All things that can happen, right? Two situations that I say keep an eye out. And I think this will depend also on what happens on Microsoft and stocks like this, right? We did see Microsoft start pulling back last week because AI started coming down with the Google name. Now, will it take out these levels? I think it's an important to watch, right? Will we go back through the 270s on Microsoft? Definitely going to be an important level to look for. If we do get through that 270, that's where I think you could start getting another ramp on the overall market. Today, market is looking like it wants to get a little bit of a push. Saw some tech names strong in the morning. You can see maybe Apple continuing to the upside. I'd keep an eye out on this one. As long as it can hold 150, you're still good in Apple. At least that's the way I feel like on the charts. And I know those bulls out there see those 150s. So maybe you get a cut down towards 149. but I wouldn't want to see 149 break if I was a bull in Apple. I want to see it get back there towards the 160 on a breakout if I'm looking for that continued push there in Apple. All right, there's some other stocks, of course, that are on the radar today. We did get some stocks in the morning that we're kind of getting some move. I can take a look at those names. But, of course, let's go to AI. AI is one stock that we're going to keep and watch to see if these momentum plays can keep moving, right? If you look at the 4-hour chart, you've come back down to support. Support is right around the 22 area. I do think that you got in some cut through that 22 area, but it looks like 22 is trying to act as support. So if there's anything that I would look at as like a red line for AI, is I would draw that as my 22 line, right? I want to see it come not cut through that 22. If it does do a cut on 22, it needs to do kind of the red to green move to come back up through 2450s towards the 25s if we're going to get that explosion back up on AI. You guys can keep a look at some of those smaller names, right? BBAI has a move towards 5 if it really wants to push. We'll see what happens on that one. Got to keep a close eye on these names. Would love to hear how the Crow or any of you guys that trade these smaller names thinks about them. Like always, you guys can throw it up in the chat. We'll see what happens. Looks like we've had a nice little pullback. This seems like we're acting as prior support, resistance, trying to act as support now around the 450s, 444 area. We'll look to see if we get that push towards 6 today. All right, another one, of course, sound will be on the radar. We'll look to see if that gets above 4. That's also been trying to push, or will it fill in the gap there towards 3? Something to keep in mind. All right, we'll see what else is going on that one. I do see some stocks mentioned in the chat. NVIDIA, are we going to get a pullback to 190? It's been holding the 90 EMA the whole time. So as long as it can hold the 90 EMA, you got a good trend. So where's the 90 EMA right now? 90 EMA is around the 212.89 area. Maybe you're pulling it down to the 212.50 area, but don't want to see 212.50s break. And if you close below that 212.50s, I think you get a pullback closer towards 200 on NVIDIA. But if it can keep holding that 212 area, 212.50, you could still keep riding the trend. Remember, the trend is your friend until it isn't. And right now, the trend still is your friend. Now let's see if they can continue the lift today. All right, let's get to the action. I do have my swing trades, right, with Tesla. Going to be looking for it to crack down towards 190 out the gates. If we can get that cut down towards 190, I will take some more profit, have made more in this Tesla trade than I did all last week on day trades. So that just shows me more and more how my swing trading is probably the bread and butter, right? Your data will tell you, and swing trading definitely is where I'm the best at. We'll see what happens on Tesla. Will we keep coming down? Remember, entry here is 211.31. I'll stop out if it gets all the way to 211.31. And not, I'm looking for that 190, then 175 on Tesla. Still got the UNG swing trade. We'll see what happens here. It might get stopped out on this one. It was going up there to the 880s, and we were up a decent amount on UNG. So going to look for it to come back through the 9 today. If it cuts through the 8, 791s will cut me out on the natural gas trade. GE short also. Average 80.74. 81.50s, 81.60s is going to get me out today. We might get a little spike out the gates, so going to look to see if it just wicks there, but not going to fight General Electric. I do want it to break down on the daily. I can get back in it, but we're going to keep it simple. Let's not push too hard on that. We'll see what happens out the gates there for GE. Now taking stocks from you guys in the chat, I'm going to quickly run through the names that you guys called out. All right, let's get to it. We've 9:22. We got a couple of minutes left here. Let's get to some of these. Tesla, we already kind of talked about. So Wall W. Let's get to Cisco. Cisco, definitely one to keep and watch, right? If you look at the daily levels, this looks like it's trying to catch a little bit of a bounce here and come right back towards the upside. So you see underneath it, you got about 46 as your support there. We'll look to see if we can come back up towards these highs. You've been up here multiple times. You failed last time at that 49. So it's going to be very vital if we do come back up towards this trend line that you break through that 49, right? You're getting 1 up, 1 down, 2 up, 2 down, 3 up, 3 down. Now let's see if we get that drive back towards 48 today and start seeing that continue higher. One stock, of course, you guys can watch with that Cisco. And if anything, I do see kind of an inverse head and shoulders on kind of the 15-minute closing into this gap here above. So move above 47.50. That's what we're looking for. Support around 47 right now, intraday. Let's see if we can get it back above that and push towards the 48s. Doesn't look like a bad chart. I'll actually even set an alert there for us at 47.55. If it does get above that, Martine, I'll go ahead and mention it. Edson, AMD and Apple. AMD, let's take a look at that one. AMD has been trying to get back above the 85, right? 85 is an important level. Let's actually go to the scratch board here and see what we're seeing. Long term, you can see this was like support over here. I always look left before I look right. Like, what do I see? I see support there. Is it acting as resistance? Looks like we got close here and we started acting as resistance slightly above here, closer towards this 85, 55 marks, right? And so we'll look to see if we come back below this kind of bunch up area. And so that's going to be the next layer of support is down there towards 77. So look to see if we close this gap below this, right? There's a little bit of a gap zone here that I'd be paying attention to. If we can't get back up towards the highs, we might just fill this gap on the earnings back to the downside, right? So I'd keep that on my radar. It could bounce there. That's a pullback to the 77, 76 area. We'll look to see if we get towards that. Let's keep going. FSLR, definitely an important one that I'm keeping a close eye on. I'm putting this on like a 4-hour chart so we can see the recent action the last couple of days. What do you see here, team? You see kind of a trend line action, right? You've tried to come up. You went up, down, up, down, up, down, up. That right there should have been the breakout. It was kind of a rejection. So this is the A, B, C move. Now we're going to look to see if we get a move back towards 175. Or do you get the rejection towards 160? If you do get the rejection towards 160, going to look to start shorting First Solar. This is where it gets a little bit difficult because the daily levels do have some support around here. But if we're able to flush through, you know where your resistance is right above here towards 167, 170 area. We'll see what happens. If you get back above 170, you can push back towards 175. So be careful out there with First Solar and these solar names. EMPH has been the one that's been really hit hard as of late. Look to see if that gets into the green today and gets back above the 9 EMA. All right, let's keep going. There's so much going on. All here for you guys. Let's keep it going, team. All right, GNS on watch, says the Crow. All right, let's take a look at that one. GNS here, 628 has been pulling back. The only thing I don't like about GNS is this, that you've had 1, 2, 3 rides up. I think we can get towards the resistance, maybe even towards 7, maybe 750. But I do see like this 8 being really pesky to get through. You can see here, we went towards 799 and kind of failed there. A lot of times you get kind of this 3 attempts to break. And on the 4th attempt, that's where stocks fail often. So we're going to look to see if we get a next push up there towards the 750. But in my eyes, I'd be selling into that rip, right? We'll see what happens today. If we do get that push up through the 750 area, we'll find out. All right, let's keep going. That one's on watch. Comms on a reverse split watch, COMS. We'll see what happens on this one. Can it get back above 6? So I'll put an alert there for us. Just going to put some alerts there to help us out today. I normally don't put too many alerts, but got no problem doing it for you guys today. So if you guys want a stock that you guys want me to alert you to, let me know. I'll set some alerts. I can have more alerts here. Moderna. Moderna. That's not a bad stock to think about, right? Jamie bringing up a stock here. Jamie Allen. We'll look to see if we catch a little bit of a bounce back towards 170, right? Moderna is definitely an interesting stock because they don't only have the COVID, right? And I think that that's something to keep in mind. It's very different than, let's say, like a BNTX. This one I think is going to be hurt a little bit more. But one thing I'm keeping a close eye on is like the IBB, right? This is biotech. Will we start finding a bounce in biotech back to the upside, or will we start getting hit on the downside? Drug manufacturers were a big, important stock that I started seeing some lift as of late. I'll show you guys this industry outlook. Here's the drug manufacturers. These are the big names like Pfizer, Lilly. You can see how we started bouncing the last couple of days. Does this trend continue today? Keep your eyes on that. Drug manufacturer names like Johnson & Johnson, Lilly, Merck, AbbVie. AbbVie got started last week, right, with their earnings. AstraZeneca, Bristol Myers, GSK. Will these get the lift? keep that on watch. I do like that even GSK, that it went back down towards kind of this support after the gap. It could continue back towards 36.75. Smaller volume name, but we'll see what happens in some of these bigger drug manufacturers. All right, energy overall, I think is something to keep watch. I think oil can continue higher. I know that I even got short at one point, but the big thing there is that I'm starting to see is the charts. The charts are telling me that we're looking for a breakout here. And you guys can see here, very important levels to come back through. This is the overall sector. Are we going to get that breakout? That's why I'll keep watch stocks like Halliburton today. I do like this trade. If we can get back above the 39s, we tried to trade this on Friday, was able to make a little bit of gain in the range. Eventually, this broke out of the range. So I'm going to look for that range to hold and support to hold. That's the 38s, and I moved back above 39. All right, let's keep going. 4-hour chart on GNS. Yeah, 4-hour charts are nice. I like 4-hour charts, hourly charts. It helps see those outlooks. FYI, SEDG reports tonight, so we'll move for solar. Thanks for the additional ad there, Jay. Hit the like, team. We're about to get towards the open. Here's the open. Let's see what we get, team. Going to focus in first on my Tesla trade as I'm looking to probably take some profits, right? In GE, those are the trades that I'm going to be focusing out the gates. You guys call out those big movers in the chat because I'm definitely going to be trying to catch some moves out there. We'll see what happens. Tesla down right out the gates. I'm going to try to get this Halliburton as it starts off already. 38.80 showing up there for Halliburton. Looking for some pullback here. The spread is a little bit wide, so I want to get in it, but I'm going to look for a little bit of a pullback. We'll look to see if we get it. VWAP is around 38.70s right now for Halliburton. Q's down out the gates there. Down out the gate. I'm going to take a little bit of some smaller trades here out the gates to try to get into some trades today. Don't want to be too quiet, especially all you guys out there listening in, and then try to do my best to just take some quick trades. I'll be focusing on what's going on in the action. We'll see if we can get back above. I'm going to give this Halliburton a chance to get through 38.60s here. If it can't, it starts coming back up. I want to grab it around the 38.70s. Tesla starting to move down, now bouncing a little bit around the 194. Q's came down just a tiny bit out the gates here. Let's take a look at Google. How's that doing? Google down towards the 94.50s. Look to see if we get that bounce there in Google. Halliburton couldn't break the 60s. I'm still keeping a close eye on that one. Let's go to the 1. I hate going to the 1, honestly. I try to stay on the 3s, but I'm trying to look at the opening action. A lot of times I take a look. See how it's held that 60 pullback there. I'm going to look to see if we can hold that right now, create kind of this double, triple bottom look here in the 38.55s, come back up through 38.70s on Halliburton. There's Tesla getting the hit down there. That doesn't look too bad. Let me get to GE. I got to really focus on this one. Don't want to get crushed in that GE. We did get a little move down there, but now it's catching the bounce, so just be careful out there. All right, definitely going to have to catch up with the chat. If you guys see big moves, throw them up. All right, there's Halliburton through that cut down. It didn't reverse there, so at least glad I didn't grab that one and gave it a chance to try to bottom before I went after it. Google's down lower there. We'll look to see what happens there. GE could stop me out if it starts pushing above this 81.35. Don't want to see it do that. Want to see it reject down and come back down towards the 81.15s and 81. SPY overall starting to come down here. Fake to the 410s. So it went towards the 409.02. We'll look to see if it goes down to 405. Tesla down to 190s there. Let's go, Tesla. Come on, Tesla. All right, gonna look to take an order out there right now. To put it out there at the 190.10s, looking for a little bit lower there to take some profits on Tesla. 190s 86, low on the day, 190.48. Let's see if we can get that Tesla trade. All right, let's keep going, team. What else you guys got out there? Nancy, did she stop using her position to game the market? We'll see. I talked about that with Chris Ketchy. What should we do with AMD? I can't tell you, but I'll take a look at AMD. AMD's actually taking a big hit there. Big hit on AMD. Halliburton starting to come back from the 38.55s. Going to see if we can actually start holding above the 38.60s. Still kind of like that one. Tesla went down to 190.48. Still haven't gone down there towards my entry where I want to get filled. We'll see what happens there. AMD lower, Google lower, Amazon lower, Apple actually in the green there. So there's one that's strong against the market. That's the one, team. Halliburton starting to come back there, trying to get back through the VWAP. I'm going to take a little bit here and look to hold there towards the support at 38.55. If I do get out at 38.55, so be it. We'll see what happens now. Pullback came really quickly here, so I could get hit in Halliburton. But like always, I came in with just a fifth of my sizing here. We'll look to see if we come back. Entries 38.65. Want to hold off this 38.55. There's Tesla down. Boom. Got the profits in Tesla through the 190s there, team. Let's go from 211.31. Who else is nailing that Tesla to the short side? SPY overall trying to come down there towards the pre-market lows. That's a move through 408.22s, and then you're going to go to the pre-market of 407.76. Let's see if that starts cutting through that earlier support. That's 408. Tesla now towards 188.66. Let's go, team. The aliens are here. The X-Files here with Money Mitch, live trading. Fastly out there, team. We'll take a look there. Got to pay attention to Halliburton right now. Couldn't get stopped out. Hands on the trigger right now. All right, out of Halliburton, cut through that 49. I didn't want to hold on to that. I'm out of that one. Really small hit there. Just to put it in perspective, the one little profit that we got there on Tesla that is from the remaining shares is about twice that loss there on Halliburton. All right, let's keep going, team. We'll see what else is going on. Did get to take a small little hit there in Halliburton. We'll look to see if we come back up. SPY trying to come back up, right? We'll look to see if Google finds some bottoming action around the 94.50s and comes back. If you look right now, that's right around the bottoming action right now, the 94.50s. That's the area where I think you could hold up some support and come back around. But if you do crack through 94s, that's where you got to be a little bit careful. That could continue lower. Tesla making some bottoming action around that 190. I'm going to keep holding the last little shares for the big push. That's towards 175 now. Have taken, and just to kind of put it in perspective, that's a 10% gainer there on Tesla. Not bad. Not bad. All right, we'll see what else is going on there. Let's go towards the 5 minutes. Start seeing some 5 minute kind of bottoming action there on the SPY around the 408.25s. Tesla trying to make a little bit of a comeback. Looking around, team. So if you guys got stocks, definitely throw them up in the chat. We'll keep going through them. Let's go through the sectors. Defensives leading here. Wanted to keep a close eye on packaged foods. Remember, I talked about this on Friday that I liked like KHC. And look how KHC held the 39 on Friday and continuing higher here. pulling back now. This one doesn't look too bad. Look for maybe General Mills, looking at some of these value plays to see if they can get moving here. Looking at some of these. Canara Brands, Smuckers. Where's the Smucks? All right, team. How about those small stocks? Tops, are you for real? Ooh, top shippers. You guys know I actually traded these back in 2018 when we had that big monster rip. I think it was 2017, right? Going into 2018. That's when I first started trading. And I was looking at these shippers, right? Well, you're getting a little bit of a lift today. Of course, this is kind of a squeeze type of name, right? So just be careful out there, team. 160s, 163 seemed like there was resistance. Held around the 145 pullback. We'll look to see if that actually does get the motor going here in Top Ship. And how those other shippers, how those are doing today. And keep an eye out on them. Let's go to the shipping sector there. Shipping imports. Let's go. Come on. All right. Go to the high cap names. See if those are getting the lift. Zim, integrated shipping service, starting to push back a little bit. These have been kind of starting to get a little bit of a lift. Starbuck. We'll see if these get the push. ES pop there. Let's go back to the SPY. SPY did come back there towards the 409.40s. We're looking for 410s really for that nice continued upside outlook. We'll look to see if we get it. AI down today towards that 22 support, right? Will it hold on there? Will it bounce there? Or will it cut down? We'll see what happens now. Sound not doing well today. All right, let's keep going. Velon, unhalted. Okay, pharmaceutical stock has had 1, 2, 3, 4 drives. We'll look to see if it can continue. This is definitely one that's pushing today. All right, GE got stopped out there in GE up there towards the 50s. Got out on that one, team. So we'll look to see if GE turns back around, but took a hit there on that swing trade. And that's just how it is, team. We'll see what happens. Let's keep going. Perspective is always what's important, right? It's about, I would say, about a third of the profits that we've had on Tesla. So that means that I at least kind of risk managed there pretty good. I'm not going to be mad about losing there on General Electric. We'll look to see if it comes back down a little later in the day. Utilities staying higher, communication services, industrial staying into the green. What's going on in technology now? That's what I wanted to take a look. In technology now into the green. Keep an eye out on some stocks. Square getting some lift here. Maybe PayPal getting some lift, right? That one had earnings last week. We'll look to see if it gets a little bit of a push now. Zim, Fastly ripping. Yeah, Fastly up there towards 11. This one did get a nice raise this morning. Talked about it on pre-market prep that it did get a ratings upgrade. It got an upgrade to, it was to a buy and it was to 16. So if you guys are seeing Fastly get the lift there, that one doesn't look too bad. We'll look to see if we get a pullback towards 1120s or 1110s, maybe even 11 on the pullbacks. We'll see what happens there in Fastly. All right, looking around to see what else is making moves. SPY just still battling around there. Google tried to come back higher from that 94.50s, came back there towards 95, now rejecting that move. SPY is just a little bit choppy here. Be careful out there, team. First Solar trying to go up a little bit. Just keeping an eye on like EMP8, SCDG. Is that going to go up there? Of course, SCDG does have earnings. Could get a nice little earnings pop on the day, right? Some traders may be looking at that. It did hold a 305 pullback here. We'll look to see if it gets a little bit higher. It's now starting to push, so be careful there in the solar names. SCDG starting to push there, and look for rejections first. But definitely a little bit stronger right now is some of those solar names. SPY trying to push here towards the 410. Google trying to catch that bottom around the 94.50, starting to reverse there and starting to push a little bit higher. That makes me a little bit interested of like maybe Google off 95s and holding on 94.90s. But we'll look to see if really the SPY can get towards that 410. Apple's been a strong chart all day long. So if you're looking for the strong chart, right, I think Apple's the one that you're looking at. We'll see what happens in the market. SPY overall, let's go to the biggest leading stocks from the open, right? What is doing well there? CSX, this is really interesting for me. Why are the railroads going higher? Does anyone know why the railroads are going higher? Because I do see some plays there that are setting up. I just don't understand it. I need to do a little bit more research. I'm going to ask some of the experts like always. We'll find out. CSX doesn't look too bad. Railroads a little higher today. GM a little higher today. So that's not having a bad move there. Now getting a little bit of a lift, trying to push through that 41.50. SEDG, Generac getting a little bit of a nice lift there at MTD. So it looks like some stocks pushing back. Microsoft in the green here from the open. That's definitely important to catch there. KMX, CarMax getting a little bit of a push up. Be careful. Could still see some of these growth names getting a nice little push. They could push a little bit higher. FDX, well, we'll look to see what happens with that one. Finally did fill the gap. Now can it pull right back down into that gap zone? Something to keep watch. A lot of stocks making moves. I'm just trying to catch what's going on out there. You guys definitely take a look. Are we on 1 minute chart? No, we're not on 1 minute chart right now. It's more of the 5 minute outlooks. Just taking a look at what's making moves out there. CDW making a little bit of a lift. Looking around. Energy is down right now. Tesla's coming back there. Did come back there towards the VWAP. A little part of me feels like day trading this even right now, but I maybe do that with the SLLQ. That would be a VWAP bounce trade from here off the 40s, 42s, 25s. Doesn't look that bad, right? But I'm double dipping if I do this, right? If I want to go long on the TSLQ, which is a bear daily ETF, doesn't look too bad off the VWAP there. But I'm going to leave it alone, team. We'll see what happens. SQQQ, that's down there towards 36 now, starting to cut down as the SPY goes towards 409.50s, right? We could continue higher and start seeing some of these kind of momentum names get another lift, right? Like even a Carvana could get another lift again here, team. It is pulling back here. Will it start getting a nice little push? Something to keep a watch as the buy the dippers could be coming in the market. Looking a close eye on that Carvana. I do think if it gets towards 11, it could push a little bit higher. We'll see what happens there. SPY overall tried to get towards that 409.50. Keeping it calm. Railroads being upgraded in my area in Atlanta. Interesting. Fastly, how's that doing? Up there towards 1180, still hasn't pulled back. CRM trying to get into the green. That one doesn't look too bad. Wanted to kind of watch that one with Adobe. Will Adobe get the lift and continue higher? Doesn't look too bad there. Looking around to see what's in the green here. Financials in the green, so that doesn't look too bad there. Real estate leading, communication services, and defensive still getting the lift. That's where I'm a little bit interested. Why are the defensives up today? Big Lots trying to go a little higher. Burlington, Ollie's, a lot of these discount stores up higher right now. We'll look to see if they can continue higher, but definitely getting a little bit of a lift there. PG. Yeah, it looks like some of these value names getting a little bit of a push there. I'm thinking about getting into some of these value names. They continue higher. Colgate Palmolive down there towards 73. Will these start to bounce? We'll have to keep watch. SPY overall now towards 409.34s, but can't get above the 409.50s. That's why we talked about 410 as being that area where we need to kind of keep an eye out. scratch board. Let's see. Still battling here with these stocks. Still hasn't really made the nice push. There's Google trying to reject here. So Google is trying to cut down back through that 94.50 towards the 94s. We'll look to see if that does happen there. Amazon back at VWAP 2. We'll look to see what happens there, right? Where's Microsoft? Microsoft's a little bit higher, showing a little bit more strength, right? Apple showing strength. We'll look to see if those get into the red. Tesla rejected the 192. Now could come right back towards the 190s. We'll see what happens there. ABA in the red today. Talked about how China could leave the action down, right? So I don't think this is a bad trade to kind of keep an eye out on. BABA getting hit now towards that 105. Look to see if we get a little bit of a bounce. Disney continuing lower after their earnings. That's not been doing well. Nike actually a little bit higher today. Wanted to keep an eye out on Foot Locker for shorts, swing shorts. Look to see what happens there. It's trying to get back above the 45. All right, you guys got tickers. Throw them up in the chat. I'll make sure to cover them. Ocul being called out there. $4 stock, trying to get towards the $5. This one doesn't look too bad. At least it's been kind of stair-stepping up, not really ripping. Did push off the 450s there. Ops a little bit higher towards the 174. We'll see what happens on that one. AI, let's see if it cut through our levels there. That's 22. It did cut through that, so look to see if it does recover. Doesn't look good right now. Big Bear down to 460s. That doesn't look good. GNS, that's actually gotten a little bit of a pop there to 650s there, team. So GNS, nice little pop there to 650s. Can it hold the 640s or 630s pullback right now? That's kind of what I would be looking for. But we'll look to see if we actually get that pullback or not. Could be a nice little pullback to 637s, 630s here. And then you want to see that hold. You went to 643s there. We'll look to see if GNS goes a little bit higher. Just wanted to call it out there for you, team. Wayfair trying to bounce back. We'll see about that one. I don't know if I think the Wayfair might have gone a little bit too far, but it is closing the gap, so could close that and come back. Carvana, not really getting going. We'll look to see if it gets a nice little push here towards 11. That's where you'd want to probably kind of really start seeing the bulls take control. Set a little bit of an alert there. Let me get up my charts here. GE, GNS, giving me a little bit of an alert. There's a nice little pullback for Carvana. Tesla now lowered towards the 190s. SPY might have just trapped up here, so just be careful out there, team. Google, that's starting to cut down. That doesn't look good. That looks like it wants to cut down through the 94s. Amazon got back above the VWAP. We'll look to see if it rejects here back below. But Google looking weak. Just kind of hold here and they get back above. Nice kind of bottoming around the 5-minute or 15-minute. You can see here, 94.75s. We'll look to see if that holds the 15-minute or does it break through and come towards the 94. XOM pulling back here. Hourly support coming into play. We'll look to see if it comes back up. Energy is down big today. Healthcare names, I wanted to keep an eye out on those. How are those doing here? Healthcare plans, I saw some CVS talk in the chat. That was getting a little bit of a lift. UNH, CI, Cigna getting a little bit of a lift. Humana getting a little bit of a push there. Major drug manufacturers got Johnson & Johnson in the green, Lilly in the green, Merck's in the red a little bit from the open, so just keep your eyes on that. Lilly and Johnson & Johnson seem like the stronger ones to start the day. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is going on. Tesla towards 188. So that TSLQ trade wasn't a bad little VWAP bounce trade, right? Off the 425s, right back up there towards the high. I didn't take it because it was pretty much the same trade that I'm in right now, but didn't seem too bad for those that were looking for more of a day trading opportunity. All right, keeping it going here, team. Smash the like button. Let's go. Fastly. I don't know if that really gives sympathy to Monday, but Monday has a good earning report too. How's Monday doing now? It went to red to green, right? Yeah, red to green. Now starting to come back up. Still hanging out here on the 409.50s. Can't get to the 410s yet. Some industrials into the green today. I can see railroads leading the way there. You guys see it? I mean, it's not really a trade that I trade often, but the railroad's strong today, team. UNP getting the lift there. All right, diversified industrials, wanted to take a look at these, see how they're moving. There are some getting the lift right now. Let's go to the high cap names. ITW is one that I'm looking at that is a little bit higher right now. Doesn't look too bad. We'll look to see if it comes right back up after kind of pulling back after their earnings. Looking for the level of the 238s on the upside to kind of push through. Doesn't look too bad, this ITW. GE, you guys know that squeezed me out, and I'm glad I got out because now it would be pushing. If anything, it looks strong. Looks like Honeywell can come back up on the daily outlook and start pushing a little bit higher. We'll see what happens there. EMR, another one to keep watch, right? We'll look to see if it can bounce back into the gap. Tomorrow is CPI, correct, in the chat. Correct. Top's pushing. Yeah, top's pushing now towards 187. Up there, held the pull back towards the 158s, now up towards 186. Halliburton coming back, but I'm going to leave that one alone. We'll look to see if these oil stocks do come back, though. Defensive names still strong there. So I'm keeping an eye out on those names. PG a little bit higher. Some of these value names getting a little bit of a lift there. SPY now trying to push here towards 409.70s. Can it get to the 410s? That's something to keep watch. All right, a little OJ break. Let's keep it going, team. I'm going to get some tunes going here. Let's focus in. Let's see if we can nail a trade. All right, trying to get back up there towards the 410s. We'll look to see if we get up there towards that 410. There's 409.89s. Can we get to the 410s? Once we get through that level, I could see us kind of pushing a little bit higher. Here's 410 showing up on the SPY. We'll look to see if we can close up there. A 5-minute basis. All right, as you see the SPY get up a little higher, I'm looking for Google long. Just took a little bit there. Want to hold off the 94.75. Can add a little bit. Just took a little bit long on Google. Going to hold off the 94.75. Could be a little bit of a trick, right? Could be a trick, but I'm at least going with the stock that I was setting up for in the morning. Look to see what happens here. It's kind of in a bearish trend. I'm looking to see if it reverses. That's a move back above 95s. All right, that's starting to push there. We can look at the SPY, and we want to see Apple push higher, SPY push higher. That doesn't look too bad right now. SPY pushing higher there. Google pushing higher, now above the 95s. Now we're going to look for 94, 95s, and 95s for ads. All right, tried to add there at 95, couldn't get the ads on the pullback, but we are pushing higher here. Looking good in Google. Entries 94, 91. Reversal action on the market. Apple pulling higher. SPY pushing through that 410. Looks like we're getting a little bit of an up push here. And that's where you got to be flexible, right, team? We'll see what happens now as I get that push there in Google. Can we push a little bit higher here? Then I could take some profits towards kind of the 95, 75, and 96 area if we can get up there. All right, let's see if we can push a little bit higher, and I'll take majority of the profits through the 95.60s and then look to see if it can continue pushing higher on Google. This could also push AI a little bit higher if it wants to reverse there. So we'll keep an eye out on AI if it does get some reversal signal. Arvana didn't want to come up through the 11 today, so keep that in mind. We'll see what happens there. SPY is pushing, though, here. We'll look to see what can go higher. AMD starting to push up there. That looks like it's holding there. NVIDIA back there, it's 216. Can this push a little bit higher? All right, what else is making calls out in the chat? Melly, nice pop. I'm sure Amazon moving a little higher. That's probably helping there too. Melly. Yeah, Melly pushing higher. Maybe Shop. Shop's one I like here. If I can get a pullback towards 48.50s, actually kind of like this move. Yeah, I kind of like the Shop trade, especially off the 47.50 area. So if I can risk about $1, come back down towards 48.50s here. I'm willing to take the shot, but we're a little bit higher than 48.50 on Shop. We'll look to see if I can get the pullback here. One thing about the SPY that we've been seeing often is that when we get these little moves, a lot of times we don't get the continuation, right? So got to always keep that in mind. Got to keep smart on that action. We'll look to see if we actually start getting a push back in the market. A real push, right? Yeah, Shop looks good. Yes, we need the tunes. We need the tunes. I got to bring the tunes in here. Let me get that going. Too much going on. I'm trying to get the trades in. Got to stay in the zone, right? All right, keeping an eye on to see if we can continue going higher from the 95s. All right, we need some tunes, some tunes. What we gonna get going here? All right, we'll try a little something different here. See how this goes. All right, SPY here, holding the 410.50 area. That doesn't look too bad. Shop's starting to get the pullback for me, so I'm going to look to get that Shop if I can get it on these pullbacks. We'll look to see if what happens here. I'm going to kind of do more of a swing on Shop. If I'm going to swing it, it's going to be towards the upside. That'd be off the kind of the 47.50 area. So pull back in the SPY. So giving it the chance to pull back here. VWAP is 38s. All right, just got the first entry there in Shop. Was able to get 43 there on the pullback. First entry there in Shop. Want to add into threes there. First entry is 48.43. Shop. Might get a pullback here in Google. Want to see it click slightly below that 95 there on Google so I can get some ads and then look for it to come back up. SPY is trying to get through this 410 and hold 410s on pullbacks. That's what I want to see right now. Can just hold 410 on pullbacks. We won't be looking too bad. Gonna let shop come back to test 48.20s for the ads. If it does come through there, we'll let it go through there. And then I'm looking for that kind of whipsaw action back up through the 48.20s. All right, a little bit on some relaxing blues today. Guys, let me know in the chat if it gets too loud. Let's get it going, team. Smash a like. Earnings on the 15. Thank you, Caleb. IQ hit 799. Interesting. There's shop pulling back there, team. There's the Google pullback. Looking for my ad here. 94.90s. Can I get the ad there? Orders out. Got the fill there. Pullback fill. There you go. Got a nice little pullback fill there for Google. See if it comes back up towards these highs. Really, 94.75 is where we got to be careful on the downside. It could just flush through that level. That's that level below here. Let's see if the SPY can hold the 410s. You get those coins, Crow. Ooh. All right, now we're getting that downside action. Got to be more in protective mode for Google right now. So protection mode for Google. Don't want it to break through that 94.75. All right, we'll see what happens there in Google. Starting to look at shop to see if we can get that comeback move there. I like the action here. Yeah, adding to shop there a little bit. Just got my second entry now. 24s. Now we go to the hourly chart on shop. Where are hourly lows, hourly support, right? For me, that's going to be closer towards 48, right? Don't want to see really 48 break on the day. Could wick there, but don't want to see 48 break on the day. Got to hold to 47.50 for the remainder. There's Google trying to cut down. It could cut down through the trade there. Still haven't cut out of it. Just looking at it. The small positions have been really helping because when I trade small, I can trade multiple positions and just keep trying to work them. Google coming back down. That doesn't look good. That it needs to kind of recover here. SPY holding 410s. That's the only thing really keeping me in these longs. My target fill sound is a Mario coin sound. No BS. Love it. Love it. Get those Marios. Right. Where'd I got that? It's a tough day out there, team. It's not just easy. It's been kind of quiet. There's some downside action. Could get hit there in Google. We cut down through the 65. Holding towards the 65s right now. Shop trying to hold there towards the 48s. SPY trying to come back up. It's good if we could get that action to come back up there. All right, Google's trying to come back up. SPY held the 410 pullback. Let's go to the 15-minute. Still looking good there on the 15. 94.75s. So keeping a close eye on that Google. Hills. I can take a look at that. I got no problem. You guys keep throwing up some stocks. All right, there's some down action on Google. Might get stopped out here. Shop coming back towards those 48s. Don't want to see those 48s really break today. SPY trying to come back towards the 410s and hold the 410s here. Bull's still trying to hold the control right now, but overall market doesn't look as bad as some of these. Like Google is not holding as strong as I thought it would. They're out of the Google trade there. Stopped out. Controlled losses. Let's keep it going, team. Got 2 controlled losses today. So let's keep battling. Can make it back with 1 gain, so. SPY still holding that 410, so doesn't mean that Google can't recover, but they didn't want to hold it through if it cut through the 94.50 area. That could be the flush down. There's Shop trying to turn around there off the 48s. If I added here, I'd have to hold to that 48, so I'm going to wait. MNND. The Mind Med. I'm all for it. Long term. Ooh, doesn't look too bad, actually. For that $3 or $4 push, right? It's at least getting some movement. Not enough volume for me in MindMed, but at least getting some movement. This is what I was trying to avoid in Google. Now you're down towards 94.50s. You cut 94.50s, could start breaking down there. So we'll see what happens on these stocks. Apple starting to turn around a little bit there. Tesla's still weak. Yeah, Tesla's still weak. That shows us something too. Keep watch on those names. They could keep breaking down. SARK trying to come back up through the 42.50 area. This one looked good. We talked about this one on Start Swinging Trading when we were down here at 40. It would already be up about 6% on SARK from that swing trading outlook. We'll look to see if this can pull back to these levels around 41.50s. But doesn't look too bad on the intraday action for the 42.50 push back up there towards 43. We'll look to see if the SPY starts breaking down. Hughes pulling back. SARK in it. Can look for a little bit of a pullback in that SARK, right? So we getting that pullback right now. Up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2, up 3, down 3. We're going to look to see it come back, reject the breakdown through the 42.15s, and then come back up through 42.50 a little bit later, probably near the 10:45 time. All right, let's keep it going. I got some other tunes I'm going to bring in here, and we'll just keep the mood flowing, team. Smash the like button out there. All right, got to change the tunes, man. Got to keep it going. All right, still bringing the vibes. Let's go. You guys got names you guys want to check out? Call them out in the chat. We'll look for them. Shout. How's that doing now? Starting to show a little bit bottoming around the 48s. Wanted to put like a 15-minute candle where it doesn't break, right? So giving it some time on that shop trade. Remember, it's a swing for me on that shop. Anyone bullish on Tesla? There's nothing wrong with being bullish on Tesla, but you just got to be careful because you did start breaking the trend, right? Is it going to come back into trend? That's what you got to think about. All right, looking around to see what is going to happen. Halliburton coming back there. Back when I had it, I was near these prices. It's starting to come back. So oil looking like it wants it to come back. We'll look to see if it actually gets that lift. Keeping an eye out on their defenses were doing so well, right? Those have actually stayed strong. So names like PG, talked about that this morning. Would we get the change to value? That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at those names. Kraft Heinz, right? Look where Kraft Heinz is. Look where it was 2 days prior. 2 days prior, it's up 3%. I know these aren't the biggest moves, but I'm starting to see the rotation to value. I'm seeing it out there, team. I got to put it out on my Twitter, right? Rotation to value. It seems like the rotation is going to value there. I know that a lot of people are focusing on the growth names today, but it could keep going towards the value names. Philip Morris taking a nice leap up. Unilever, nice big push. BTI, EL, even Estee Lauder. Stay Slaughter. MO, Target. How's Clorox? Into the green. It's interesting. Just noticing it, team. We'll see if it gets the lift or not. ADM. Kind of like this bottoming action here. Ooh, weekly trend on ADM. Doesn't look too bad there. Off the 80. Need to go into the green today. We'll see what happens there. GS, General Mills, keeping an eye out there, team. Disney talked about how they want to focus on streaming, but then they talked about how they could also sell out Hulu. They talked about lowering content spend. Does that really mean that you're focusing on streaming? That's where it gets a little bit difficult. I feel like this is also ran with the Netflix move. So you could see Netflix turning around a little bit after a big run, right? Netflix has been running since a pretty much August or July area, and it's been about 90% up for the recent move in Netflix. Could start coming back down, right? We'll see what happens there. Disney overall still staying red after their earnings. How's the SPY? Still trying to hold the 410s, right? Still trying to hold the 410s on the 5 minute. So that's not bad, but overall, it still seems like it's strong. CPI, I could do a little poll here. You guys just throw it up in the chat. What do you guys think for CPI? Are we going to come in hot or are we going to come in light? If you guys don't know the prediction or the estimates out there, the estimate for the annual pace is for it to come down from 6.5% in December to 6.2% in January. What do you guys think? Hot, neutral, cold? inline, aliens. What do you guys think? All right, using my Benzinga Pro to try to pull out some stocks that are making some moves as of late. I'm going to really quickly run through some of these names, and we'll keep watch to see what happens. OBT being brought up. That's not really something I'm going to trade there. Let's keep going. AMC. Asset management company getting a little bit of a lift there. Let me actually try to bring these back down towards some smaller names here. All right, let's see what else we got here. QSG. Let me volume filter. This is a little bit too wide on the volume. There we go. Down under and all I've seen beyond the wonders and still I dream. I know I can make that sacrifice. AI coming down fast there, team. AI just still breaking down. Palantir tried to get into the green today. NIO trying to get into the green. So just putting out stocks that are trying to get into the green today. Shop now into the green there for me. But that doesn't seem too bad here, team. We're going to look for pullbacks to 48.25 to get the last ad. And if I do get that ad, we're good. We can hold off the 48 later today. Look to see a little bit of a pullback. Look to see if Shop starts making the move up. We'll see what happens there. Tesla might make a little bit of a push here. So just be careful there out there, team. You're still short on those Tesla names. IQ, we talked about that 8 push there. Will this get the 8 push? It's continued higher on the daily. Daily levels look like it would be continuing to just drive higher on IQ. This one doesn't look too bad hanging in there, right? With that being mentioned, NIO looks like it's trying to get a little bit of a push here. It could do a little bit of a day trade back up here on NIO towards 11, but it's not my favorite stock. I kind of don't like it. Meta trying to come back into the green there. So if you're looking for a stock that is maybe trying to come back after it did get hit hard, it's Meta. Look to see if it can get back up there. SPY overall now through that 410.50s, held the 410s, right? You went to 410.01 on the 5-minute. Definitely important to catch. VLON setting up. Yeah, this doesn't look too bad for maybe a little push back above the $1 spot. You'd have to hold really tight there, but doesn't look too bad on the pullback. This is definitely a penny stock. We'll look to see if it can hold above the $1 spot. A lot of stocks like doing this little move above $1, and then they never come back towards that $1. So just be careful on that end. Baba, keep battling. Just trying to get green here. Wondering if we're going to get the green and get in, keep pushing higher, or do we get a turnaround? Keeping an eye out on the SPY, like Baba. Google starting to reverse back up, but I don't trust Google at all there. SPY looks very toppy here. It's like we can't get through that 410.50. So I'm keeping a close eye on it right now. Shop, I'm going to leave it alone, team. I could add here, but just going to increase the risk right now. We're just going to leave it off right now to see what happens in the overall market, because it does look very toppy there on the market. This doesn't want to go through the 410.50. And a lot of what we've seen is a lot of like kind of that back and forth chop, right? I don't want to get caught up in that. First Solar. First Solar is not halted. It's trying to get pushed towards the upside. The only thing with First Solar is low volume on the day. So that's why you're seeing that maybe you're thinking it's halted, but it isn't halted there. It's just trying to make an up move here. It's just slow volume. Look for SEDG to maybe lead that one We can take a move up today and continue higher. Doesn't look too bad, but turn around and be careful out there. There's Baba turning around now. She liked that level. Up one, down one, up two, down two, up three. Keeping a little patient here because it's the up three move, right? Let's go to the 1 minute. Might see a little bit clearer. Up one, down one, up two, down two, up three, down three, right? So it could kind of hold these supports, come back up through that 105.40. I'm going to give it a chance. Want it to reject that move again, then I can start getting short on some. If it goes up through that, I could actually get long on it, right? That's what matters there. SPY still battling, team. How's the UNG today? Went down there towards 830s. It's around the 830 area. Doesn't look too bad there, at least. Just hanging on there for UNG. For Tesla consolidation is over and it flies to 200. It could definitely do it. Let's put Tesla here on the right-hand side. It's battling. It's battling right now, that Tesla. SPY is battling, right? Look how Baba makes that attempt to break out right there, right? That's what I was trying to avoid by getting short too early. Now we'll look to see if it rejects this move and then comes back down. But the SPY's pushing higher, and you got to be careful. This could just push stocks up, right? Could get Tesla Motor going upward. AMD could get a bounce there off the VWAP. We'll see what happens. A lot of names near the VWAP right now. So it's going to be a very important point to see what happens here if we get the next little push. Looking around to see what else is making moves. XOM trying to come back up. Markets look like they're trying to go a little higher. We'll look to see if it can continue going. Apple pushing through. We talked about the 150 level today on Apple being so important and continuing to hold, not pushing down, just continuing higher on Apple. That shows a little bit of strength out there. You can see Microsoft continuing into the strength. Amazon's rejecting now, so just keep that in mind. We did get a little pop above this 410, but it's not holding on the SPY. That's where it gets a little bit complicated because you're getting this up and down move, up and down move, up and down move. Just be careful out there, team. Comms popping. Take a look at that. Comms up there to 556 there. Came back towards the 5. Let's look at the 1 hour chart on comms to see what you see there. You see how the stock's trying to get back up there to 6. I like pullbacks to 530 on comm. Where'd you pull back there? 535. That's not looking too bad there on comms. Looks like it wants to go higher here towards the 560s. Can it get to $6 today? So that's a little bit of room to run. There's your comms now towards 570s. Will it get back up there towards 6? Doesn't look too bad there. SPY continuing higher. That's looking good there for our shop trade higher on a swing trade, right? We'll leave that one alone. And we'll keep letting the swing work. All right. Apple and Tesla have been good, but Amazon and Google, not so good. Correct. Tesla trying to get the pop up. Trying to get the pop a little higher. GNS pulled back here towards the 630s. GNS pulling back there towards the VWAP. We'll take the next step up towards the 650s and 660s. 675. We'll see what happens on that one. AI, did that come back off the bottom? Nope, still hasn't on AI. Sound also just getting hit hard there. NVIDIA got that VWAP bounce style, right? AMD VWAP bounce style to the upside. We'll look to see if it continues higher. Socktel probably doing well there. And now it's starting to push through the 16. SPY continuing through the 41080s. As we start coming a little higher, should see stocks like Apple continue. There's a nice little push. We'll look to see if that can keep getting the lift. And do some of the growth names start pushing now? Take a look at those names. We'll see what happens. All right, from the open, let's see what's doing well there. ARKK names, come on. T-Doc doing well. PD, Twist. Roblox trying to get a next little level up, right? This is nice for like a scalp level look. Roblox trying to get back through the 35, trying to push back towards like, let's say 35 25s or 35 50s. It's about a 1-to-1 trade right now for Roblox there. PAC, Path pulling back. This is some healthcare names. This is a software name, Path. See if it comes back up today, but just looking through some ARKK names. Saw Hertz get the mention in Barron's article. So I want to put that one on radar for swing trades. I know that this one could squeeze, and you have to keep it really tight, but not looking too bad there for Hertz. If we can get back above $20 on Hertz, it's going to be very important. This one doesn't look too bad on the day here, Hertz. Yeah, I'm going to take a little bit of Hertz here on a swing team. But this is a little bit higher risk team, so I just want to make sure that everybody understands the style of trading. Let's look for 88s, 90s here, and it doesn't look too bad. What do you guys think about Hertz? Swing trade, action. Doesn't seem too bad. We'll see what happens there. Target stepping up. Yeah, those discount stores did look strong really early on in the day. Haven't touched the Hertz yet, but it's interesting to me. We'll take a look at some different stocks now. Comms turned around from that 575 area. Couldn't get it to the 6th. Went towards 590s. Reloading here. We'll look to see if it gets back up through 6. SPY trying to get that little bounce there. Shop still battling, not trying to get back above the VWAP. Our average is 48.34s, so pretty much the VWAP there for Shop today. We'll look to see if it holds that 48 on the day and continues higher. There's Shop to 48.40s. Can you get to 48.50s? All right, let's put Target maybe. Take a look at that. Target with a nice push higher, team. My biggest thing about Target is, will we fill this gap? Now it's kind of interesting to go off of, like, let's say 167, 168 area for Target to come back towards 180 and then come back towards 200 on a longer term outlook. If you guys are looking for that style play, I don't see that too bad on Target, but it's already pushed really high from about the 171 level. Haven't taken that shot yet to fill the gap again. I've taken it once or twice on Target. I've made some profits, but I haven't gotten that full gap fill for Target. GM wants to push, says Sally. That's something to keep in watch, right? I saw that stronger earlier. It pushed through the 4150. Yeah, nice little push through that 41.50 towards 41.70. Not a bad outlook there. GM higher there. I could give Tesla a little bit of a push here. Tesla though did come back towards that 190, so not too bad on the day. I'm not mad about Tesla too far. There's the SPY starting to come down here. Are we starting to see a little bit of a reversal sign? We'll see what happens there. Don't want to overreact, but just keeping a close eye on BABA here. I think if we cut down back through the 103 levels, this is really going to let go. So keeping a close eye on it. Still looks like we want to go a little higher. You can tell with that, with the Tesla move. I don't want to like kind of jump in front of a big push to the upside here. So just going to respect the SPY. Look for it to come back down through that 410. Still hasn't done that. Hold 410 here. It's still strong on the day. Could still push higher. IQ. How'd that one do now? Starting to turn around there in IQ. There's BABA towards the 105.16s, but don't want to jump the gun too early there. Got to keep watch to see what happens in the overall market or in the Qs. Qs look like they're pushing higher. So if anything, it looks like upside action move. Doesn't look bad here. We'll look to see if it gets up a little more. All right, let's get the tunes back up here. Sorry about that, team. Just was dealing with a little commercial. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going, team. The vibes out there. Smash the like button if you guys are enjoying the stream today. Got over 420 of you guys. Get that one out there. Smash it up. Let's go. Yeah, definitely a day where like base hit seems to make sense, Crow. I hear you on that out there. It seems like you're getting pops and then quick drops, right? So you got to be careful there. AMD trying to go a little higher here. Google just hanging out around that 94.50. They're shot with a little bit of a pop. Went towards 48.60, so we're not looking too bad in the swing there for shop. Average is 48.34, so don't feel too bad about that one. We'll talk about that one later today, definitely for the swing trading show. And look forward to seeing some more swing trades on that. TQQQ, not something I look at too often, but I'll take a look there, right? I also look at just the SQQQ, but it is going a little bit higher. That's interesting there. Ultra Pro, right, to the upside. Get in the lift. Q's trying to push a little higher. Doesn't look too bad. Strong stocks there in the market today, but not like big rips up. Just stair-stepping, stair-stepping, stair-stepping. GH, I got you, Wall. Wale. All right, let's keep the tunes going here. I'm going to change it up here. Oof, even though that one's a good one. Let's keep it going. Ultra Beauty. Ulta Beauty continuing higher. Man, this should have been my longer term play here. I remember the pullback to 440s and even the pullback before this when it was down to 400. What a big push in Ulta Beauty. Monster of a stock there. How's ELF? ELF. Is that continuing higher? Yep. Look at that. Earnings came out, continuing higher. ELF Beauty. Some of the best plays out there. These beauty names, man. Ooh, Baba looking good now. It's starting to cut through that 105. That's why I was looking at it for shorts, but I'm going to look for a bounce back here. See if I can get the bounce back above the VWAP towards 105.25s, 125.30s. In that range, I can short off the 105.50 area. But the SPY still staying strong. So that's the reason why I'm not just jumping into it. FXI, I can take a look at FXI to see how that's doing. That's holding in there. Don't want to be too short on names that are holding in there, right? Baidu hanging in there. PDD, actually having a really nice day, PDD. Nice little push right now. So maybe not running in front of this train. We'll see what happens. NIO, will that get the lift here? Did Tesla get the push? Nah, not really getting the push there in Tesla. Not seeing it there. All right, all retail stocks turned higher. Let's go to the sectors, see if there's anything changing out here. Do we see anything changing? Defensive still leading the day, right? A lot of people are probably not in these names, but that's how it goes to show us. We want to catch these names when they're making moves, right? EDU, some training, education going on. TAL, LOPE, some of these plays. Household personal products, right? PG, continuing higher. UL, Unilever, look at that. Rotation to value, it seems like it right now. Even though the market's going higher, there's always ways that the market can go higher. That's usually when they rotate into these names, right? To value names. Names like Visa getting a little bit of a push today. Meta trying to come back, right? That doesn't actually look too bad there in Meta. We'll see what happens there. UNH having a good day. JPM, Walmart, PG, Lilly, drug manufacturer. We were looking at those before the open. Merck doesn't seem too bad. It is coming back here. Trying to make the lift back through that 109 area. Look to see if we get through there. These names are staying strong. How's the market? Still hanging in there. Just hanging in there, though. Just seems to me like it's really kind of gotten dull and slow right now. So got to keep pushing, team. We'll see what happens out there. Recession never comes to the beauties. Yes, girls need their makeup always, every day. Yeah, definitely don't stop. But it's not only that at Ulta Beauty, right? I mean, they do sell a lot of colognes and different things. It's not just only for ladies, right? I've been in an Ulta store. That's where I usually get my colognes just because they're usually close by. Don't go to the mall anymore as often as I did, right? We'll see what happens there. What's up out there, team? You guys throw up some stocks. All right, Meta trying to take another lift there. Has been a stock that I was actually calling for a short. So I'm kind of looking at it right now to see if we're going to break down and come right back down here. Doesn't look too bad if I'm risking off the 180 area or 179 area, right? Could come right back towards 174. That's about $4 lower, $4.50. Would have to risk about a full buck from here around the 178.50 area if I think this is going to go higher. So just got to be smart there. Look for the kind of push here towards a little bit of a move towards 179. Then look for the rejection a little bit later in the day. That's one way to look at it. But remember, CPI is going to change everything up. And that's where I'm getting a little bit tough holding on to my Tesla trade towards the end of the day. But we'll see what happens there. If Tesla can get back to the 200, that's where I got to be a little bit careful because a good CPI report could push us higher, right? Well, Tesla now starting to try that push, right? Well, there you guys see it coming back there towards the 194 level. I'm going to still hold on my last little piece of my trade, right? But we'll see what happens on these names. We are starting to get a little bit of a lift here. Can the SPY continue to stair step higher? And will Google finally put in a bottom? It's down there to 94.12s. It's not looking good there in Google. Amazon hanging in. Apple hanging in there. We'll see what happens there if that turns around. Microsoft also hanging in there. We'll look to see if these can turn around. It's been strong on the day. Same thing for NVIDIA. Are these going to continue higher? Or will we get the turnaround there on these strong names? It looks like a lot of bullish charts. There could be a little bit of bull traps to the upside. So just be careful out there. I think they can continue higher, but they could also just be some bull trap charts. We'll see. ABA bounced there, never got back towards the 105.25 area. That's where I wanted to get short on that one, but I'm going to leave it alone. Keeping a close eye on like a name like AMD to see if it goes back above that 82 and pushes higher, or does it break down? So all things to keep in mind. Shop still continuing for me, at least. That doesn't look too bad there. Look to see what happens on that one. Now towards 48.70s, 48.68 got there. Let's see if it gets to 48.75 and we start to really get the lift there in shop. First profits in shop. Where is it going to be? Well, 49 will be the first stop. 49 will take a little bit of profits, and then we'll look for it to clear up towards 50 and 51 on shop. AMD trying to make that move. Let's see if it actually does or not. Gotta be careful with those ones out there, Crow. Vlon back above $1 and then right back below. That's a tough chart there. Tough chart, team. What about that one earlier in the day? I did see tops moving. That's pulled back below the $2 spot. We'll see what happens there. Safe Bulkers with his SLB. Some oil names coming back. Wouldn't you know it, Halliburton back into the green. Stopped me out earlier in the day. Nice recovery now, though. Went towards an hourly candle and put a huge wick trick there at the 38.50s. That's how easily they can put that little wick there and kind of trick some sellers to get out, and then they come right back up. So be careful out there, team. Just like longer term AMD looks like a bearish outlook right now on the daily. No, it's the hourly that looks a little bearish. It's not the daily. It's the hourly. See the hourly right here? Could reject off these levels, the 82.50 area, come right back down through the 81. But the SPY's is continuing to stair step up, man. So it just looks like we're going to keep getting this stair step up move. And if it keeps going higher, well, you could get these stocks to keep pushing up a little bit. Not going to be mad about that because that will probably push my shop trade a little higher. Tesla, though, might come back a significant amount. It could get to 200 today. We'll look to see if it starts pushing above the 195. ABA still fading away. Never gave me that bounce. Was liking that one for a short, but never got into it. We'll see what happens there. AMD now towards 81.90s. Will it get to the 82s? And just push higher. All right, let's keep it going, team. Get the tunes back going. Let's go, team. We'll see if we get a little bit higher. AMD starting to push here. Now through that 82. We'll look for the SPY to continue higher. Doesn't look too bad for that to happen. Woo! Did a fan here. Those things are confusing. So many technicals here that most people don't use, right? We'll see what happens. Let's go to the daily outlook for the anchored VWAP on the SPY. Right? Let's see. That would put it towards right around. Let's see. All right, puts it right around where we're at right now. VWAP. Look what happened there. Daily anchor. All right, SPY trying to push a little higher there and looks bullish, but very slow bullish, right? We'll look to see what happens there, if it can just keep stair-stepping some moves up. There's AMD through that 82. So there you guys seeing that continuation, right? Google trying to bottom out here on the 94s. Amazon pushing higher. Apple looks like it wants to set up for that nice move up. We'll look to see it. NVIDIA with a nice little breakout there. Some lagging action. Maybe Micron start coming back there. Doesn't look too bad. Intel pushing higher, right? We'll see what happens on these names. Carvana, that doesn't look bad for like an 11 push now, right? If we keep pushing higher. So that might actually be my trade right now. We'll look to see what happens on these names, right? Even like a coin might get a little bit of a push here. We'll look to see what happens on these names. Unity a little bit higher there. Snow continuing to push. Roblox, we were looking at it earlier. It's starting to get the lift there. So ARKK, yeah, pushing higher. The growth names team look like we're going to get that little bit of a lift here. Look to see if some of these other get the stocks moving there. BKNG rolling. Yeah, it's not doing bad today. Thought maybe it could turn around with the Super Bowl, but it's getting the lift there. Now we're getting a little bit momentum to the upside. Google doesn't look too bad now. It starts reversing off the 94 mark. XOM starting to bounce a little bit. Cyclical started to take lead there, team. So definitely getting that push there. Lodging, restaurants, resorts. Big push there. Leisure getting that nice little lift there. So definitely a nice little push back on the day, especially for those stocks that were pulling back. Now got the lift back up. All right, let's look at like an Under Armour. It took a major beating on the pullbacks. Now bouncing back. Stocks like that bouncing on right back there. Tesla now towards 95.56. Could get back there to 200. So I'm glad I took some profits today. We'll keep it working. Ford a little bit higher, trying to get through 13. We saw GM strong earlier in the day, right? That doesn't look too bad there. GH, sorry about that, man. GH, Guardian Health. All right, let's take a look there. Weekly chart. Back through the IPO low. So that's my first level that I'd look at. I need to recover that. That's 26.72. Doesn't look too bad. Right now you're at 28, 26. So you keep cracking into those levels there off the IPOs. You got to be careful. I would look for it to get back into the gap zone to the upside, which is a 34 move. But if you're looking to short it, that's what that stands out to me. But even then, you're going to get lower than everybody before, right? Maybe it's a move to 27, but definitely not liking this one, at least from the chart. Chart looks bearish to me overall. Could turn around, but this one's been pulling back there since 2021. It's been 2 years like in the bear market. This could pop back, but doesn't look really strong at all. All right, let's keep going. Big volumes in treasuries today. What's up with the treasuries out there? I could take a look there. I just need to kind of take a little bit of a peek here into what's going on. Let's go looking a little bit, see how the bonds are doing in different kind of futures outlook. All right, if I take a look at some bonds out there, I see the VIX coming down a little bit. So that's something to definitely keep an eye out for. Looking at energy to see how oil and crude oil is doing. That looks like it wants to spike back into the 80s. Let's look at WTI today. I think that's an important thing to keep an eye out on crude oil, if we're going to spike into the 80s or not. We've gotten a couple spikes. Now we're just around 79.26. So it's still looking good for the upside outlook there for some oil names. We'll see what happens. COM wants 6. I'll take a look at some of those smaller names. I got no problem with that. Did do a little pullback there towards 550s. Not a bad outlook there. Pulled back there multiple times to the 45s, trying to take the next step up. We'll see what happens there. GNS now starting to come back. Will it get the push through into the 650s, 675. We'll look to see if we get that lift on the Genius Group and takes a nice little push up. We'll see. Tops trying to curl back there to $2. We'll look to see if that can get the lift. Smaller names, be careful out there, team. Ocul. Up there to 515. Doesn't look too bad. Definitely got a nice little breakout there in Ocul. All right, looking for some smaller names. Going to keep pushing here. All right, just give me the float up a little bit. Carvana showing up there for me. Let's take a look there. Carvana pulling right back down there towards the 1070s. Didn't really get there towards the 11. COUR. Oof, this one's pushing strong. This is one of those education names that are pushing today, but I don't like playing these at all. ULCC, Frontier Group, getting a little bit of a bounce today. AAL, pulling back there. Still not to where I want it, but we'll see what happens there. AI starting to come back a little bit, team, if you guys like that name. This trying to come back. Still don't think it is actually coming back yet. Victoria's Secret with a nice little uplift today. Victoria's Secret has a nice little bottoming around the 40s, starting to push back there. I just don't know about this company. I really don't. And so I'm going to leave it alone, but it does look like it's trying to bottom out. SPY now to 411.72s and just continuing the trend. So right now, the trend's your friend there on the SPY, and let it continue riding up. Probably going to continue riding some of these stocks higher. Google is coming back there from the 94s, now back to 94.59. Could continue back into even the green. Microsoft looking like it wants to continue higher. Amazon did a little trick to the downside, now pushing higher. So that all looks good. Apple pushing higher. Tesla pushing higher too. So the market could keep riding up the wall of worry right now. That's where we're getting a lot, right? And so just be careful out there, team. Looks like you are getting a lot of that ride up the wall of worry here. So stocks that were hit this morning, I would look to see if they bounce back. FIS, this one, where they're going to buy this one back. And it's starting to come back there. We'll look to see if it bottoms out there. FIS, disaster stocks of the day. That's what I was looking at to see how those were performing. Did Hertz get back up there through that 19? Stair step there. Stair step. I'll keep that one on my radar. All right. Google's starting to come back there. Still not really giving us the incredible push that I thought we would get, but just kind of stair steps moves up. It's nothing really big. All right. Let's take a look there. What else is making a move? Did Baba get back up towards the level I was looking at? No, 105.18s. I was looking for 105.25s. We'll look to see if we get back up there. But overall market continuing a little bit higher, starting to slow down a little bit, but still a nice linear path to the upside there. All right, team, that's probably going to do it for me today. We're going to wrap up here at 11. Going to get you guys over to the next action ahead. Like always, we'll keep pushing forward. Let me go ahead and take a look at what we got on the dock today. All right, just give me a second, team. Well, I'm going to play a little Benzinga Pro trailer, and we'll be right back as we start to wrap up the day.
Breaking news.
U.S. Treasuries.
In the case of nuclear or radiological fallout, people living around the Texas
RTW retail wins hitting a high of 45 cents. Seeing some chat room mention on RTW retail wins. Coming up at 2 p.m. Eastern Time today, the federal budget balance for January. Earnings after the close today from EFX, Equifax, MGM Resorts, NTAP NetApp, and U.S. Nu Skin, PS Pluralsight, TRIP, TripAdvisor reporting after the close.
Keep it going, team. Just taking a look to see what's going on out there. Let's keep smashing it up, team. Will the SPY continue riding up? See what happens there. All right. All right, team. I'm going to be sending you guys over to 11 all access Benzinga live coming up. So just get ready for that, team. That's coming up in just 1 minute. You don't got to go anywhere for that. All access right here coming up soon. There's UNG finally getting a little bit of a bounce back on the day. Could add here as I start getting back above my swing trade. But like always, got to respect it, right? Stay to the levels. No need to add on swing trades unless they're going into our favor. That's when we can really consider it. That's why I was looking at it as it starts to come back up over this 850 area. I'm at 847. We'll look for a 9 push by the end of the day. That can show me a little bit more confirmation. We'll see what happens on names like that. I still like Baba maybe potentially for the short. We got there to 105.18. Still didn't get to those 105.25s. This could come back down. Stocks have stayed strong. There's comms showing up on my alert scanner there. So you guys, comm traders out there, there it is towards 6. We talked about that this morning. Would we get the move towards 6? There's your push. Kept that one on the radar. You guys had talked about that. There's your comms move with a nice little lift up. Hit the like definitely, traders. We're going to get you guys over now to all access, AB, live trading. That's coming up next. Hit the like on the way out. You don't got to go anywhere to keep up with the action right here on Benzinga.